Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today let's do another flight in the TFDI MD-11. Today we're going from Düsseldorf to Punta Cana and then later on toward Puerto Plata for an absolutely dream holiday flight. So let's go ahead and get right into this one, boarding our MD-11 through the two left door. At this point, I would also like to thank my channel sponsor, Say Intentions AI, already for providing today's air traffic control to us. If you are interested in an ATC add-on that is not just doing your standard IFR A to B flight, but also other things like VFR, data link, and even a cabin crew simulation, then Say Intentions may just about be for you. Alright then, before we take a seat, let's take a very quick look into today's flight plan so that we know what we are going to be up to. And we are starting with a look at the general chart, departing from Düsseldorf southbound across France and then out to the Atlantic, across the Azores and basically directly towards Punta Cana for this first leg of this journey. The significant weather chart shows us an oncoming jet stream across the North Atlantic, but later on, pretty much everything free until we make our way all the way down into the Caribbean, crossing a couple of jet streams and a little bit of turbulent area, but technically speaking will remain all free. So I'm looking forward to a smooth and enjoyable ride. In terms of the airport weather, Düsseldorf, overcast clouds, 8 degrees, variable winds over here, but now look at Punta Cana. Beautiful conditions, 27 degrees, some light showers of rain forecast, which is basically always the case at this time of the year, and overall beautiful weather conditions, so I'm really looking forward to today's flight. Alright then, I'd say with that in mind, we can go up to the OFP section of our flight plan. Departing Düsseldorf at 9:45, we are going to be in Punta Cana, unfortunately about 17 minutes delayed because of the strong headwinds that we have in flight. Not much we can actually do about this, but we will do our best to make it as early as possible. Maybe we can get out a little bit earlier as well, would surely be nice. Alright, now with that in mind, let's have a look into the fuel section of our flight, and we can see that 84.5 is the standard takeoff fuel. That includes 14 minutes of ETOPS fuel, and well, if we do want to fly a little bit faster, cost an X200 saves 6 minutes at the cost of 2,000 kilos. Is that going to be worth it? No, probably not, if we're completely honest here. So what we're going to do is we are just going to load up 86 tons of fuel. With that, we should be absolutely good to go, especially taking that ETOPS fuel in mind over here. So I am rather positive there. Alright then, that much for our basics. Then let's take a seat in the captain's seat of our MD-11 and start in our EFB down here, where we can just import the active flight plan, please. If you would please be so kind. I said import flight plan. Here we go, that's looking better. Alright, then let's go on to the payload page. Yeah, I tell you what, I am just going to do this based on the zero fuel weight down here. Then let's go ahead and pick our flight plan and kindly import it as well. Here we go, Düsseldorf to Punta, and then we got a zero fuel weight of 160.2. So let's go ahead and set that 160,200, and for the fuel we wanted 86 tons, so let's go ahead and set that one as well. 86 tons, here we go. Alright, that's all set and loaded, and with that let's go ahead and start right with the cockpit preparation procedure. So the logbook is checked, the circuit breakers should all be in. I mean, they're not simulated at the end of the day. So then, moving right down here, we've got the weather radar off, the fuel switches are off, flap and slat levers are up and retracted, then landing gear lever is down and should not be pulled out at this point. Then fuel dump and manifold drain switches are guarded, emergency power switch is off, so let's go ahead and turn on the battery, and let's also turn on the external power. Now it's fairly cold outside, so I do want our APU operating, so let's go ahead and do the fire test. That's looking good, and then we can turn on that APU power button. Alright, the APU should be starting now, and indeed it is. FMSs are already coming to life. Then let's go back to the overhead. IRS 1, 2 and 3 going on, and that is going to initiate the cargo fire test, which is looking good down here. Alright then. Let's go ahead, annunciator lights. Looking good. Refueling is complete, so let's reset that fuel used already. We are going to keep the lights bright, and that's it. Then let's move down into the FMS. Down here we got FMC1, MD-11, Pratt & Whitney engines, nav database is up to date. Onto the flight plan init, where I am going to transfer the planned route of flight. Here we go, our GPS position looks good, then we can hit initialize IRS. Alrighty, so let's see, APU power is on, then let's also turn on the APU air. Nav light is also coming on, refueling is complete, so emergency exit lights aren't, and passenger signs are on. And once those are on, let's go ahead and request boarding, please. Alright, while the boarding is in progress, we start with our pre-flight procedure. Now, we do have some livestock today, so let's actually go ahead and turn the cargo temperature up. Engine ignition off, hydraulic system test is in progress, electrical panel is now set. Alright, moving further down to the air conditioning panel, everything is on automatic, fuel quantity test is looking good, lights all set, and up here, GPWS test, we can do the quick version of it. Fuel used reset, lights are bright, that's looking good. All the calls are also set. Then let's move down to the main panel. We do need hectopascals, and QNH looks to be somewhere around here, 1014-ish. Traffic, data, airport, VORs, and the same on the other end side, please. And I will already switch my side over to weather over here. Alright, good. Then we are moving down. So the oxygen test is looking good. Down here everything's done. Everything's done. Moving down to the main panel. Then QNH 1014. Standby attitude. Is looking good. Auto brake is armed. Frequencies we'll do later. Listen to VHF 1, VHF 2, and the interphone. So weather radar goes uncalibrated and +5 up. 5,000 or 2,000, that way around. Alright, that's all looking good. Then let's go ahead and set a couple of frequencies here. 1 to 1.5 for VHF2. Like that. HF, we would also do a very quick check here, just to make sure it is working. Alright, then 1 to 1.5 is active. 1 to 378 for the ATIS is going to go into standby. Like that. 1 to 176 for delivery, I think. We'll review those in a few moments, no worries. And then 1 to 1.605 is going to be the ground frequency. Alright, then we've set everything up down there, so let's go right into the FMS, get that flight plan, and let's get going. As always, I will be using my WinWing CDU in order to operate this. So Mike Delta Papa Papa is the alternate. We will be LTU 440, starting in flight level 330, later 350. 360, 380, and 400. Here we go. So, temperature, let's take something at level 330, minus 55, and the wind component is a headwind of 39 knots for this flight. Cost index 20 is set. Now onto the flight plan page. Düsseldorf, sits 23 left, and we're leaving via Modrow, so it's going to be the Modrow to Tango departure. Here it is, and insert. And for the arrival into Punta, let's draw the other way around here. Here we go. Punta Cana, star. And it's going to be an RNAV approach to runway 09er. Coming in from Katok via the Katok to Bravo arrival. And minimum profile altitude, I think, is like 500 feet. Let's select that. That's looking good. Insert. And here we go. Alright, that's looking quite okay. Perfect. So with that, our flight plan's in. Then let's continue on the reference page with a pilot waypoint, which is going to be Düsseldorf Emergency 3. Based on Düsseldorf 230 and 25 miles as a PBD point. Enter that. Now, secondary flight plan is going to be Düsseldorf to Düsseldorf. Like that. Then sec flight plan, Düsseldorf, sit 23 left and insert. Then we got Dus X3 as emergency point, and that thing, oh, that was wrong, can definitely also get a holding. 230 right hand turn, that looks good. Insert. Alright, and now we can add our immediate re-landing with an ILS approach at runway 23 left and insert. Alright, so that's our secondary flight plan in here. Looking good. Alright, so let's continue on. On the init page, up here everything is set. The next page, that stuff will have to be done later. We cannot enter anything in the fuel figures in the current version of the TFDI. So with that we are basically almost done. Fixed page, Düsseldorf Emergency 3, here we go. And then finally let's go ahead and cross-check our departure. Over here I just really want to import that flight real quick. The reason I'm doing it over here instead of on the TFDI EFB is because the TFDI, first of all, is clumsy to use. I mean, sorry TFDI, but really have to say that. A little bit clumsy to use, and I can't move it anywhere. So this is just so much easier. Alright, so runway 23 left, straight at 600. Delta Lima 243, maximum 210 knots. Right turn to Uboro, which is an overflight point. And then via Netex, maximum 250 knots towards Modru above flight level 210. And that is looking good. Then let's also have a look at the plan. And yeah, that looks pretty much exactly like what I would expect. Alright, good. So we are done with our FMS setup. Our prayer minimums can go on to barrel, please. And that's our setup completed. So are you ready for the departure briefing? Cool, let's go for it. We're departing Düsseldorf, runway 23 left, Modru 1 Tango departure, initial climb altitude 5000, which we can already pre-select. Alright, initial climb altitude 5000, sit straight at right turn out, emergencies straight ahead, and we've got an MSA of 2400 feet, extra fuel and time, well, like 500 kilos or so, but we do have the entire ETOP fuel, so absolutely nothing to worry about. Alright, no hotspots for our taxi routing, stop margin for an RTO is not going to be a lot, probably just a couple meters. Engine out sits straight at 25 miles to pick up the holding over there, and if we need to make an immediate return, 2-3 left is available. We will be overweight though, so we have to see what we can do, but I'm positive that we can either return here to Düsseldorf, or otherwise we just go over to Cologne. The weather over here is okay for a return, however not for a visual pattern, so if things need to go like really quick, then we just make it a 6-mile final ILS approach, which is prepared on the secondary flight plan. Alright, apart from that I got nothing special, nothing non-standard, and that's our briefing complete. Any questions? Nope. Alright, perfect. So, boarding is still in progress down there. Let's go ahead and use that time to grab the ATIS and then get the IFR clearance.
In the FBO area, advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read all runway and bold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information line. Düsseldorf Airport, information line. 1350 Zulu. Arriving runways 23 left, 23 right. Departing runway 23 left. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, solid overcast at 800 feet. Temperature 8. Dew point 6. QNH 1014. Transition level 60. Taxiway resurfacing in progress.
Alright, so 1014, 8 is Mike, 23 is confirmed.
Altitude.
Nice. So 12176, just a quick check that that is not nonsense. One to 178. Here we go. Düsseldorf delivery, LTU 440, information Mike, request IFR clearance to Punta Cana. Alright, the alignment is complete.
LTU 440, cleared to Punta Cana via the Motor 2 Tango departure runway 23 left. Initial climb to 5,000 feet. Departure on 128.655, squawk 5115.
LTU 440, clear to Punta Cana via the Motor 2 Tango departure runway 23 left, climb altitude 5000, departure 128.655, squawk 5115. Alright.
LTU 440, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.605.
121.605, LTU 440. Okay, nice. Runway 23 left is confirmed. Motor 2 Tango, climb altitude 5000, which is set. Departure 128.655. Just going to tune that down here as a reminder. Like that, and squawk 5115.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard LTU International Flight 440.
Okay, so far so good. Then our IFR clearance is confirmed.
My name is Mara Meyer, and alongside me are Captain Emmanuel and First Officer Stephanie. Please take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you.
Looks like all the loading is complete already.
To reach out to any member of our crew. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today.
So, what's GSX doing? Just a couple more passengers. But that's good enough for me that we can already do the performance, please. So, payload. Zero fuel weight is 160.2 and the fuel 86 tons. 160.2, which is as expected, and the fuel 86. And the CGs, let's see, do we have them anywhere? No. That is bad, because we should have them. Well, I suppose since this aircraft is not equipped with a weight and balance system, that means we gotta guess what they are. Because the payload page doesn't tell us. I mean, that's not a dispatch item, but just wanted to be 100% sure, but no. Okay. Alright. Yeah, then we gotta guess. They gotta be about 25 somehow. Like that. Okay, so, performance. Düsseldorf, runway 23 left. The runway is 2,636 meters. You can just grab that weather, please. You can grab that takeoff weight. Packs off, most likely. Let's see what we get. Yeah, that's kind of expected. Flaps 25 and flex 41 degrees. Okay, so flex 41, packs off, flaps 25. Runway slope is minus 0.2. And the wind is tailwind 1. Like that. temperature 8 degrees Celsius. Then we take 1600 for the climb thrust, 1600 for our acceleration, and 2100 for... actually no. Also 1600 for the engine out acceleration. And we get takeoff speeds of 150, 163, 170. And that looks all correct. Okay, cool. Clean speed 266 and V3 is 236, so we actually got to keep both the flaps and the slats extended for the first turn, and then the slats even extended all the way through the second turn, even though we will definitely ask ATC to relieve us of that restriction. So, CG disagree. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The only question is, where do we get the correct CG? I mean, I'll tell you honestly, we'll probably just go to the options and turn on the weight and balance system. Okay, so 14.8 and 25.7. For now, that seems to be the only option. At least the only one that I see. Alright, cool. So all that good stuff is done. Then the doors are closed. That probably means that the boarding has to be completed. So let's say hello to our guests. Liebe Fluggäste, einen schönen guten Morgen aus dem Cockpit. Hier spricht der Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel. Im Namen der LTU darf ich Sie herzlich an Bord unserer MD-11 auf unserem gemeinsamen Flug nach Punta Cana und dann später weiter nach Puerto Plata willkommen heißen. Flugzeit auf diesem ersten Sektor ca. 9 Stunden 50 Minuten. Wir erwarten einen weitestgehend ruhigen Flug und freuen uns jetzt, dass wir Sie in den Urlaub fliegen dürfen. Wir beenden jetzt den letzten Papierkram. Sobald wir dann fertig sind, machen wir uns auf den Weg, sodass wir in den nächsten Minuten die Parkposition verlassen dürfen. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Lehnen Sie sich zurück und genießen Sie den Flug mit uns. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emanuel. In the name of LTU, I would like to welcome you aboard our MD-11 on our flight to Punta Cana and later on to Puerto Plata. Today's flight time on the first sector about 9 hours 50 minutes, expecting a mostly smooth flight. Sit back, relax and make yourself comfortable, and if there is anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew members. Finally, we are just finishing up the last paperwork, so we will be on our way in the next few moments. So just sit back, relax and make yourself comfortable, and then we talk to you again on the approach with the latest weather. Alright, APU is there, so let's disconnect the external power, please. Services. Park and brake, please. No. And the aux hydraulic pump can already come on. Park and brake set. Okay, so disconnect power, disconnect shocks. Alright. That looks all good to me. Then let's go ahead and do the cockpit checklist. Gear pins removed, pedostatic checked, cabin signs on, FCP set, speed band, 0 taxi, altimeters, QNH 1014 set left and right, fuel 85,950 kilograms balanced, system display status checked, system modes all auto, takeoff data inserted, auto brake, RTO, takeoff warning. Checked, flap takeoff selector. I wonder if I will ever learn that. Flap takeoff selector 25, cockpit checklist complete. Alright, then I'd say we are good to go. Düsseldorf ground, LTU 440 heavy, request pushback and startup.
Pushback and startup approved, face west.
Pushback and startup approved, facing west, LTU 440. Okay, before start checklist, cabin secured, mobiles off, engine ignition A, beacon on, system modes auto, park and brake set, before start checklist complete. Ground from cockpit. Pushback and startup approved, facing west, and the parking brake is set. Roger, we are facing west and the parking brake is now released. Clear to push. Roger that. Start the pushback and stand by for engine start. Roger. Alright, and here we go, leaving the parking position for a lovely winter holiday.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard LTU International Flight 440, departing from D. Oit 1 Düsseldorf and heading
Alright,
to
so ground,
Punta.
our start sequence
estimated
is going to
flight time is
be
approximately 10
312,
hours.
and we're ready to start
Please
engine
pay
number
close
3.
attention to the upcoming safety
Clear 3.
demonstration as it contains important information
Engine 3
even for our
start.
frequent flyers. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fitting into the buckle until you hear a
Here's what
click.
I just find really strange
Tighten,
on
pull
the
strap,
Pratt
and to
engines.
release, lift the
The gauges only come
Remember,
live the
your
moment
seatbelt
you
must
actually
be
get a
fastened
rotation
whenever the
there.
seatbelt
That's
sign
a
is
little
on
bit
the
strange,
table.
isn't it?
Please
If
return
you
your
have
seatbacks
any
and tray
reference,
tables to
if
the upright
that
position and
is
ensure that your
realistic or
window
not,
blinds are
then
open for
do
takeoff
let me
and
know
landing.
in the comments below.
Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode. Laptops and larger devices should be securely stowed during takeoff and landing. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatories. Oxygen masks will drop automatically if needed. Pull the mask firmly towards you. Place it over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Be sure to secure your own mask before assisting others. Life vests
And
are
we have a good
located under
start on
your
3,
seat or
starting
between
1.
the seats. To put
Clear
it on,
1.
pull it over your head, fasten it, and inflate it only after leaving the aircraft. Special life vests for children are available. In case of
And
an
2.
emergency, floor-level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit,
Oil
which
pressure.
is clearly marked. The aircraft has 2 exits at the front, 2 over the wings,
Fuel on.
and 2 at the rear.
EGT.
The nearest exit may be behind you.
And the pushback
In
is
the event of an
completed, set park and brake.
evacuation, please leave all personal belongings behind and follow
Park and
all
brake
safety
set.
instructions from the crew immediately. If any electronic device becomes hot or shows signs of damage, please inform a crew member immediately. For more details, please refer to the safety information card located in your seat pocket. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a pleasant flight.
Starter. Cutout. Starting engine 2.
Eurowing 70 Romeo, cleared for push and start.
Clear 2.
Roger. Pushback approved. Eurowings 70 Romeo.
Fuel on. EGT. Okay, ground. We have 3 good engine starts. You're clear to disconnect. Please show me the pin on the right hand side and have a good day. Bye bye. Start a cutout, monitor 2. And there's the ramp agent. There's the clear signal of the start. So, anti-ice? Probably not. We'll just use the windshield then.
Eurowing 70 Romeo ready to taxi.
Okay. After start checklist.
Romeo, runway 23
APU
left, taxi via
off.
Lima 7, Mike,
Anti-ice
Lima 2.
off. System modes auto. After start
Runway
checklist
23
complete.
left taxi via Lima 7 Mike, Lima 2 Eurowing 70 Romeo.
LTU 440 request taxi.
LT 440, runway 23 left, taxi via Yankee Papa 4 Mike, Lima 2.
Taxi runway 23 left by Yankee Papa 4 Mike Lima 2 LTU 440. Clear left side, clear right side. Okay, park and brake off. Let's go.
Taro 415, ready to taxi. Taro 415, runway 23 left.
Okay, so that
taxi via
routing is
Tango
fairly
Lima
easy.
3, Mike,
Straight
Lima
at
2.
Yankee, Papa 4, Mike,
Runway 23
and
left,
then to the
taxi
full
via
left.
Tango, Lima 3, Mike, Lima 2, Atero 415.
Okay, the right side is clear. Alright, here's 15 knots. Shouldn't go faster than that on the apron. Okay, so that Eurowings on the left there may be relevant for us. The right side is all clear. I got no idea where that ETA is, but probably somewhere nearby as well. LTU 440, are we in front of the Eurowings? Okay, right side is clear.
LTU 440. You're behind the Eurowings.
Roger, behind the Eurowings, LTU 440. Alright, then we've just got to stop and wait for him over here.
Uriah 438, contact tower on
Okay.
118.305.
Well, while we're waiting, let's start with the flight controls, please.
Uriah 438.
Pull up. Pull down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. And the rudder. Full left. Full right. And neutral. So it looks like the Eurowings is waiting for us. Okay. That's something where the ATC could have done a bit better then. Yep, definitely waiting. Let's go. But as they said, never complain if you're number one. Unless you are number one to find out if the weather at an airport is good or bad. Alright, taxi procedure please. And the rest is already set. Good. So, step trim 9.8. Here we go. Okay, the engine warning display is green. I went a little bit fast here, correcting that.
Yoke C17, taxi to parking via
Yoda, nice call sign. So 18305 will be next. To review the takeoff briefing, it's going to be a left seat takeoff, runway 23 left, flaps 25, noise abatement procedure number 2. And the SID takes us straight ahead for quite a while with a maximum of 210 knots, and then it's a right turnout. Contact departure when passing 2000 on 128.655. Initial climb altitude 5000 feet, and in case of engine out, straight at 25 miles to the Düsseldorf emergency 3 point, where we gotta climb to 3000 feet. We can come back for an ILS approach runway 23 left if required, and that's mostly it. Any questions? Nope? Alright. LTU 440, request intersection Lima 1. If he doesn't answer.
440, intersection L1 approved, taxi via Lima.
Taxi Lima, Lima 1, LTU 440.
LTU 440, contact tower on 118.305, guten Flug.
118.305, LTU 440, ciao.
Ground Eurowings 5.
Düsseldorf Tower, LTU 440 Heavy, ready for departure.
LTU 440 Heavy, Düsseldorf Tower, moin. Runway 23 left, hold short, A319 on the runway.
Holding short runway 23 left, LTU 440. Moin. So 18655 is going to be next. Okay.
LTU 440, runway 23 left, hold short, A319 on the runway.
Yeah, that's what you said already. I made it a principle that I'm ignoring him when he repeats something nowadays. So, shall we just bring a couple of lights up? Here we go. Okay, so the A319 should be going now. Let's also go ahead and just bring those displays up a bit more. Like that.
LTU 440 Heavy, runway 23 left, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 23 left, clear for takeoff, LTU 440 Heavy. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Okay, brakes off, config, it's checked. Alright, takeoff checklist. Flight controls, checked. Flaps, 25. Spoilers, armed. Trims, 9.8 units set. EAD, checked. Takeoff checklist complete. Approach area is clear. Okay, we're cleared for takeoff. Are you ready? Then let's go. Timing. Stabilized.
5, go back, hold short of runway 5 right.
5R holding short, Eurowings 5, Golf Echo.
Takeoff thrust set. 80 knots. Checked. V1. Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Nav profile.
LTU 440, contact departure on 128.655.
128.655, LTU 440. Long radar, LTU 440, heavy passing 2000, climbing 5000.
LTU 440 Heavy, Düsseldorf departure identified. Climb via the SIT to flight level 210.
Climb via SIT, flight level 210, LTU 440. Set, 210 checked. Autopilot on. So temperatures.
L2440, contact Langen radar on 128.555.
128.555 L2440. Langen radar LTU440 passing 3600, climbing flight level 210.
LTU440, unable to comply with request to wait 555 limited for FOSA. Maintain current clearance and climb altitude 5,000 feet.
What?
440, Langen radar identified. Hello Düsseldorf, QNH 1013.
QNH 1013 LTU440. Set QNH. QNH checked and passing 4,340 now. Okay, flaps up. Speed checked.
Stabilize your motion.
266. LTU 440, any chance for speed 270 knots? Engine anti-ice on.
40, maintain present speed.
Please confirm speed 210 knots approved for LTU 440. Disregard the no ice detected. So through the transition altitude, standard is set. Okay, I tell you what, if they don't reply, then I don't care. Give me speed 270. And flaps retract. Alright, that is looking good. Flaps are up, and here we go. Now we're also getting a good climb rate. Nonetheless, let's go to the thrust limit over here and give me climb 1, please. Selected. So, 331 is the optimum. We are planned in 330, that's quite good. Okay, no ice detected. Yeah, well, engine anti-ice off for now. This is always the difficult point. You gotta judge, am I going to enter this? Over here I don't think so. But you don't want to make your colleague have to grab those anti-ice switches too often. Otherwise, you're pretty surely eventually gonna get a comment. So yeah, always gotta be a little careful on that. Now, we're up in the air. Let's set the weather radar down to like minus... Ooh, in steps of 3. Interesting, TFDI. That would be a little bit too rough for how I would operate a weather radar in the real world. Alright, resetting the timer so that we get the elapsed timer displayed momentarily. So, maximum climb is at 255. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we can go to FMS speed down here. We want to maintain those maximum climb to be sure that we make the module flight level 210 restriction. And then passing level 100.
440, speed below 250 knots.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, great. Lights are off. The signs are going to remain on for the time being. Temperature is 2 degrees. Engine anti-ice on again.
Thank you for your attention and enjoy the flight.
Yeah, no ice detected. I know that. Okay, cool. And then for the time being we are done with this. I'm just making sure that we do actually reach level 210 by model, which is looking quite good now. Well, and then sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. Enjoy the Caribbean, and I see you all on the other side of the pond. Alright everyone, we are descending towards Punta Cana. We can already see the city in front of us, and I can already start to make out a couple of the beautiful beaches down there. Now, we are going to start that approach over here in a few moments, so let's go ahead and have a look into what we are doing. The weather in Punta Cana at the moment is...
440, San Juan Oceanic Center, contact Punta Cana approach on 119.75.
119.75, LTU 440. Punta Cana approach, LTU 440 heavy, passing 128, descending level 80 on the Takeoff 2 Bravo arrival.
LTU 440 heavy, Punta Cana approach identified. Qatar cleared DASBO transition. Descent flight level 070. Cleared for the RNAV runway 9er approach into Punta Cana.
Cleared the DASBO transition, descending 7000, and cleared RNAV 09er into Punta Cana, LTU 440. Alrighty, that sounded pretty easy, so let's go ahead and talk about the procedure that we are about to fly. Also, let's go ahead and start reducing our speed towards 250. You have probably noticed already that the FMS speed is a little bit slower, which is the case because of the 230 restriction on the start, but ATC has already waived that for us. But now we'll go into FMS speed so that we can do those 210 by waypoint 101. We might need a little bit of speed brake here in order to be able to achieve that, so let's just get that speed brake out. Also, auto brake is going to go into medium over here, and we also need that dial flap selector on the 15 position. Okay, good. With that, we have done everything we had to do in order to prepare for that arrival. We're going through 10,000, so the lights are coming on, the signs are on, and everything else is done. Okay, so far so good. Then let's go ahead and just have a quick look out here.
The weather in Punta Cana is pleasant, so they can look forward to a nice arrival. Our assigned gate is Terminal A1.
Beautiful. Okay, so for the approach briefing, we're flying the standard RNAV approach runway 09er in Punta with an MSA of 2,000 feet above around the aerodrome. Well, 3,000 feet, sorry, my mistake for that. So MSA 3,000 feet around the aerodrome. The minimum is 500 feet, go around straight at waypoint 257, left turn back to 258 and then to Agnal and climbing 3000. Extra fuel on time, we now have 11.3, so that's plenty of fuel for us. Alright. Flight director guided approach, on-off approach onto runway 09, down there it is, we can already see it. Easy going. That's checked, and they said we are cleared for the approach, so let's set 3000 feet. Set. Okay, lovely. So, flight director guided approach. Flaps 35, maximum reverse, auto brake medium, vacate the runway to the right. Hotspots for taxiing is going to be the crossing of runway 08, and we'll be parking, let's see, over there. Any questions? No? Beautiful. So that's our briefing complete. I could definitely get used to that side. Another one lovely place that you can fly to with the MD-11 on realistic flights. Okay. So back in here. On the A330 I would probably just do a visual approach over here now, but still not that used to the MD-11, so we do want to take that bit of time. Okay, slots extend. Speed checked. So, set QNH. And And here we go. QNH 3001 Freedom units. Set and checked. Okay, passing 5,100 now. Then approach checklist, please. System modes, auto, altimeters 3001. Approach checklist complete. Lovely. So after Deathwell we can maintain 3000 all the way to Irpen, and from there we are going to turn to the final. And then eventually figure out that we're on the wrong approach chart over here, because it should be the chart for 09. Here we go. But it's all the same stuff. So, Dasbo, Irben, 3000, and then towards Leiben, and that is where we leave 2000 feet as the final approach race. Easy going. 1000 to go. Let's see if the plane automatically corrects this into a continuous descent approach. Yeah, more or less. Looks okay. There's the field. I just love it when things are that easy. Right, let's see. Tower is going to be on 18.8. Like that. Okay, hold 3000. Let's go ahead with the speed reduction. Flaps 15. Speed checked.
LTU 440, contact Punta Cana Tower on 118.8.
118.8, LTU 440. 2000 checked. Punta Cana Tower, LTU 440, established RNF 09. Okay, it's not really reducing here. LTU 440. Now it's on approach logic, or isn't it? No, still going for 210. That makes no sense. Alright, start slowing down, please. Gear down. Flaps 28.
LQ 440 heavy, wind 110 at 5. Runway 9er clear to land.
Runway 9er clear to land, LTU 440 heavy. Why is it still aiming for the high thrust? That makes no sense. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Final approach speed, 148. Like that. Flaps 35. Speed checked, flaps 35, and we are clear to land. Nice. Okay, FAP 2000. Will you please start the descent? Better late than never. I should probably have set the FCP altitude down instead of setting missed approach altitude straight away. Okay, here we go. So it's probably going to catch the path again momentarily. Interestingly enough, nav mode does not exactly line us up with the runway. Okay, so be it. Alright then, that's checked and the green light is showing. Landing checklist, landing gear down for green, auto brake. 2 spoilers armed, flaps 35, EAD check, landing checklist complete. Alright then, the runway is in sight. Notably, they are clearing us on runway 9 here, not runway 8, so let's not make that mistake. So go around altitude. 3000 set. In the real world, it's normally runway 8 that is in use. I think we passed 500. Just a feeling though. Okay, 3 whites, correcting. Continue.
300, 300, minimum. 300, 200.
Sky Peru 5580, contact ground on 121.9er.
200.
Switching to ground, Sky Peru 5580.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Spoilers, reverse. .100 knots. Manual brakes. 70 knots. And then we'll take the next exit off to the right hand side. Come on, runway, what are you doing? Please load. Interesting. What is it doing to the ground textures? That's why you do 9-hour and 56-minute flights, right? In order to get the broken ground textures thereafter. And now the entire simulator freezes.
Altitude 440, contact ground on 121.9er.
WestJet 2903 holding short 09er, ready for departure.
03, wind 100 at 5, runway 09er, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff 09er, WestJet 2903.
121.9er, LTU 440.
Altitude 440, say again.
Yeah, 121.9er. Okay, so let's see. Parking spots and coordinates, and we need stand number 5. Punta Cana ground, LTU 440, request taxi to stand 5.
L2 440, taxi to VIP terminal stand 5 via Alpha.
Stand 5 via Alpha, LTU 440. That has nothing to do with the VIP terminal, but we got the taxi clearance to where we wanted to go, so I am going to take it. Come on, this is full tiller input. What is that plane doing? Okay, start APU. Stand 5 is not a medium general aviation ramp. I can assure you that. I've parked on that stand. Okay, so the right side is clear, those are all far enough up front. And here we go, that's number 5 coming up, lights off. And stop. Nice. Parking brake set, APU power avail. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Punta Cana. Alright, with the engines running down, seatbelts off, beacon off, APU air on. And Squawk Machine 2000 standby and off. Okay, parking checklist. And I did once again forget the stabilizer trim. That always happens to me in this airplane. Alright, here we go. Parking checklist. Exterior lights. Set step trim 3 units. Anti-ice. Off. System display status checked. System modes auto. Spoilers retracted. Flaps and slats up retracted. Fuel switches off. Parking brake set. Weather radar off. Transponder 2000 standby. APU air on. Parking checklist complete. Well, my friends, for those of you getting out here in Punta Cana, thank you very much for flying along. I do hope that you've all enjoyed this. I most certainly did. It's been very interesting landing in this beautiful place once again. And for those of you flying on with us towards Puerto Plata, please do stay seated as we're about to set ourselves up for the second flight. However, that's going to get its dedicated own video. So for now, thank you very much for watching. As always, like, comment and subscribe. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.